Hey animal rescuers, as most of you have probably seen by now who follow us, our Geoffroy's cat is missing. 2 nights ago, somebody broke onto our animal rescue. They trespassed onto the rescue and then vandalized his enclosure. And unfortunately, either he was stolen, but more than likely he escaped from the enclosure. Both the police and Florida Fish and Wildlife back this up, that it was 100% people, and that they more than likely, whether they meant to or not, released Jack on purpose, or they were trying to get into the enclosure to play with him. And once they realized it was too hard to get into the enclosure, they just left it open for him to escape on his own. So today I'm just going to show you a kind of a collaboration of some of the videos that I have made today. Again, we are on day 2. You can go back and watch. There's a couple shorts that I have already posted, as well as some community posts. I will put a link below in the description that will have donations. We are trying to raise funds for a reward fund, as well as to purchase more cameras for security and help us with the search efforts to find Jack, our Geoffroy's cat. So if you want to keep watching this video and see some of the questions that I have been answering about what happened, some updates from today, and then tonight we do have somebody coming with a thermo drone. So I will be live on our Facebook feed as well as our TikTok if that does pan out and he does come out and we try to search for Jack through a thermo drone. We'll go ahead and check out the rest of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. An update on the missing Geoffroy's cat, Jack. We are on night 2 of him being missing, and so far there has been no signs of him at all. We also have set 6 traps and nothing. We've actually gotten no animals, which is also interesting, and I'll explain that in just a second. But nothing on the game cams either, so we are still waiting. There is a possibility that he will come back, and I will explain a little bit more in a separate video about our plans that we have that are more long-term to get the cat back. But I really want to thank everybody. About 95% of everyone has been so supportive of us trying to get him back and sharing and commenting to try to boost videos and boost photos, and it has been really amazing that you guys have all come together for the sake of Jack. Now, again, there is still the possibility that he was stolen, so I do feel that it is important to keep sharing these videos just in case he was stolen and he's being sold somewhere, you know, on the black market or being sold illegally. You do have to have permits for these cats, so it would be an illegal sale if they do not have a permit and they're selling to somebody without a permit. It would be illegal, and especially if they moved him across state lines, that would be a federal crime. So I will keep posting a couple more updates targeting specific topics. So again, thank you guys so much, and stay tuned, I guess, and I'll keep you posted. Yes, we will be beefing up security here at Sunset Wildlife Connection. We are going to be adding additional cameras, as well as, yes, we will also be adding boards to the top of the enclosures that have those roof panelings on them, and making sure that they are more secure. So we do have additional plans for other things that we are going to do to beef up security. I don't want to necessarily discuss those things, but we are going through with the donations that have been made and adding in about $500 to $1,000 worth of additional security onto our property. So that will help prevent this from happening in the future. I am currently looking for somebody who does have a thermo or heat sensing drone that could help us to locate Jack in our area. If you're just now hearing about this, someone broke into our animal rescue, trespassed onto our private land, and vandalized one of our animal exhibits and either stole our animal or let the animal out. We are currently missing and looking for a male 3-year-old Geoffroy's cat. He is about 7 pounds and he does not have a tail. So if somebody does know anybody that has a drone that senses heat that could help us in the evening or night hours to be able to try to find Jack and at least locate where he could possibly be. Please tag them below, send them this video, or give them our contact information. You can message me directly and I will give you all of the information to be able to contact us. Please share this video if you know anyone. Some people have wondered if this was an act of vandalism or something else, so let's talk about it. If you are just seeing this video, nights ago, my exotic animal rescue was broken into and somebody trespassed and vandalized one of our animal enclosures and either took the animal or they allowed the animal to escape. So let's first talk about a couple of the different scenarios that people have been discussing. Some people have said, well, it looks like the cat could have pushed out and gotten out himself. That is impossible. This is a 7-pound cat. If you look at the photo, you can see that somebody actually went and bent the wire. So just looking at the evidence that we have, this is 12.5 gauge wire, which if you are not sure in layman's terms, that is very thick. Plus there is also a coating on the wire. It's very thick wire and you have to have a lot of strength in order to bend it. So again, if you look at the photo, you can tell that there are pry marks on the enclosure. A cat would not be able to push out like that. That is not going to happen. So again, looking at the evidence, this is not done by a 7-pound cat. Now, some people have also wondered if this was another animal, maybe a bear or a Florida panther, something along those lines, but there is still, again, no evidence of that. They still would have had to pry open the enclosure and bend back the wire. Again, looking at what we do and what we have goats, chickens, pigeons, tortoises. Those kinds of animals would have been on the ground, much easier to catch, much easier to capture. So there is no way that a bear or a mountain lion would have been able to bend the wire and pry open the way that they did without evidence that there were claw marks or something along those lines. Both the police and the Florida Fish and Wildlife report both reflect that this was an act of vandalism and trespass. There's bent-in dents on the side, so it does look like somebody went in and purposely opened up this cage. Now, whether they were trying to steal the animal, whether they were trying to get in and play with the animal, or whether they were just trying to release the animal, the end result is the same, that we are still missing our 3-year-old Geoffroy's cat. So yes, this was 100% an act of humans and no other act of nature or God. How do you catch a Geoffroy's cat that escaped from their exhibit? Just now hearing about this, someone trespassed onto my exotic animal rescue, vandalized one of the enclosures, and either stole or let the animal escape. I actually believe that the Geoffroy's cat did escape. There is still, of course, that possibility that he is being trafficked. So there is that possibility still, but we are going off that he escaped and he is now loose on the property. We have set game cams as well as traps so that we can try and get him. Now, Florida Fish and Wildlife gave us some really good advice when it comes to catching exotic animals, specifically exotic cats. They said that what we should do is tie food and maybe toys or feathers or something that might entice the cat to come into the catch trap, because cats are so smart that if you just put it on the ground, they'll kind of tiptoe their way over the thing that actually traps. So instead, what we did was tie it to the top, and if he grabs it, he actually has to push back, and then that pushing on the trap like this is going to actually set the trap off and catch the cat. I've also been reaching out to people that have thermo drones to try to see if we can locate him at night when he is moving. He is a nocturnal animal, so more than likely during the heat of the day, he is not moving around. We also have some ideas to work with his enclosure, do different things to his specific enclosure to entice him to go back in, and then do our own trap system to trap him once he is into the enclosure. So that might be a way that we can catch him and entice him to come back. Another avenue that we are looking for is actually using female scent. So I've actually been reached out to by a couple of other Geoffroy's cat keepers, and they can drop off their female Geoffroy's cat for even just a night so that the girls can scent. They might be able to yowl, and it might draw him back over to his enclosure. So we might be able to even just use a domestic cat. We're going to have to kind of see. I'm still trying to see if I can get a female Geoffroy's cat first. And if I can't find a female Geoffroy's cat, I will try to get just a female cat, maybe a breeder in our area, just to see if we can't get him to come back. So that is another idea that we have. If you have any other ideas on how we can catch a exotic cat, please put them in the comments below. We are using any and all avenues that we can try to think of to try and catch our cat. In the case that he is stolen, please share this video so that we can get more eyes and ears. If there is an exotic Geoffroy's cat being sold, an intact male with no tail, then we will be notified, hopefully, and do what the internet does and what social media does, and be able to spread awareness so that we can get our cat back. A lot of people have asked me about trackers or chips in the cat. Jack does not have a chip or a tracker of any kind, but that is because it is actually very dangerous to put cats under anesthesia. Especially exotic cats, it can be very dangerous. There has been many situations of a very healthy cat going under anesthesia and never waking back up. So because of that, we never wanted to risk actually putting him under anesthesia unless it was absolutely necessary. Now, if it was necessary to put him under for any reason, maybe we were neutering him, or obviously if there was like some kind of an emergency, then I actually would have had our vet put in a microchip. Just because we were already putting them under, you do have to put the animals under when they put a microchip in, because they require a very thick needle to go under the skin, because if you think about it, even though a microchip is small, it still has to go through a needle to get in there. Now, most of the time this does happen when you are spaying and neutering your animals. You can usually ask to have them put a microchip in when your animal is under anesthesia. But again, because Jack is intact, we never had to put him under for that kind of procedure. Now, again, in the future, if he does come back and we do possibly even put him under and have our vet come out and look at him, we may end up microchipping him at that point. But obviously, we have to wait and see if he'll come back first. Something that I found absolutely fascinating over the last couple days. If you guys are new here, 2 nights ago, someone broke into my animal rescue and trespassed and vandalized one of our animal exhibits, and either stole our Geoffroy's cat, or they were trying to get in and play with him. And the more than likely scenario, unless someone was very prepared to be getting a Geoffroy's cat, they more than likely let him out. And I actually do believe, based on the animals around me, that that is likely what happened. The last couple nights we've been setting traps, and what I want to talk about though is the animals, then both native and domestic animals. So my first sign when we first found out that Jack was missing, our cat Titan here is a domestic cat. He's an outside cat, and it was interesting because he was on our encounter center, which is where he sleeps a lot at night or during the day. You know, he'll obviously move around, but he was in there all day, like dramatically all day, until the evening time. And then once the evening time hit, he was extremely cautious when walking down the steps. He was sniffing. He was extremely cautious when he was walking. He's gotten more comfortable now, but I thought that that was very fascinating behavior because he does not do that. He's a very confident cat. He knows where he is. He knows what's going on, and he knows Jack. He has met him many times from a distance, and Jack always wanted to hunt him because that's what Geoffroy's cats do. And it was really fascinating because I think that Titan here knows that Jack could take him on, and he's very aggressive with my other cats and male cats, and he will attack them, but he does not even mess with the Geoffroy's cat. So that was one sign. I also think it was fascinating that the last 2 nights we have not caught one thing in those traps. We have 6 traps set and not one thing. for 2 nights. So that's 12 opportunities for an animal like a raccoon, an opossum, you know, even a domestic cat to enter into the traps and get in there. So it is pretty crazy that we've found nothing. And really, I think maybe if he is out, the animals know. Wildlife and animals are an amazing tool when it comes to observation and using your observation skills to read animal behavior to try to tell you what is going on. So I am leaving up hopes that Jack is in our area still and that we will hopefully catch him. Well, guys, unfortunately, again, like I said, this is just such a terrible, terrible situation, and I am obviously devastated. I honestly don't think that I have fully processed everything yet. I'm still in the mode of trying to find Jack and trying to see if he is here on property and try to get him back. We have fixed the enclosure well enough to be able to get him back into the exhibit. And then we are going to do further improvements to the exhibit to ensure that something like this never happens again. So thank you guys so much. Please make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe to our channel. Please share this with anybody, especially if you are in Florida, or the Pensacola area, Alabama, anything like that. We are trying to get the word out just in case he does explore and go into somebody else's yard or anything like that, or anybody sees him off of 29, which is the major highway by us. So please make sure you guys are sharing, liking, commenting to boost this video as much as possible. I really appreciate all of you guys, and please wish us luck. I need all of the thoughts, prayers, and positive vibes sent our way. Thanks.